Welcome to Learn JavaScript. A brief overview of what you will learn in this course. What will you learn? Will you learn? In this course, you will learn programming fundamentals with JavaScript syntax. The concepts covered in this course lay the foundation for using JavaScript in any environment. After this course, you will be able to implement JavaScript data types, built-in methods, and variables. Use conditionals to control the flow of a program in JavaScript. Construct functions and pass data through them. Identify global and block-level scopes in JavaScript. Use arrays to store lists of data. Use loops to execute blocks of code multiple times. Use iterator methods to simplify the process of looping over arrays. Use JavaScript ES6 object syntax to model real-world items. Learning is social. Whatever you're working on, be sure to connect with the Codecademy community in the forums. Remember to check in with the community regularly, including for things like asking for code reviews on your project work and providing code reviews to others in the projects category, which can help to reinforce what you've learned. What will you create? Throughout this course, you will be tasked with applying the concepts learned in projects. Here is a preview of some of the projects featured in this course. Kelvin Weather. Build fluency in JavaScript fundamentals by practicing variables and printing to the console to create a temperature converter. Sleep debt calculator. Practice functions to help us build separation of concerns by building a calculator to tell us if we are getting enough sleep each week. Whale talk. Master the art of looping by creating a program that talks like a whale. These projects will help you practice building fluency in JavaScript. We are excited for you to start your journey into Learn JavaScript. Back. Last year, millions of learners from our community started with JavaScript. Why? JavaScript is primarily known as the language of most modern web browsers, and its early quirks gave it a bit of a bad reputation. However, the language has continued to evolve and improve. JavaScript is a powerful, flexible, and fast programming language now being used for increasingly complex web development and beyond. Since JavaScript remains at the core of web development, it's often the first language learned by self-taught coders eager to learn and build. We're excited for what you'll be able to create with the JavaScript foundation you gain here. JavaScript powers the dynamic behavior on most websites, including this one. In this lesson, you will learn introductory coding concepts including data types and built-in objects, essential knowledge for all aspiring developers. Make sure to take notes and pace yourself. This foundation will set you up for understanding the more complex concepts you'll encounter later. Instructions. Move to the next exercise when you're ready to begin. Concept review. Want to quickly review some of the concepts you've been learning? Take a look at this material's cheat sheet. Community forums. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. How are Java and JavaScript different? Which should I learn? What programming language should I choose? Still have questions? Learn. The console is a panel that displays important messages, like errors, for developers. Much of the work the computer does with our code is invisible to us by default. If we want to see things appear on our screen, we can print, or log, to our console directly. In JavaScript, the console keyword refers to an object, a collection of data and actions, that we can use in our code. Keywords are words that are built into the JavaScript language, so the computer recognizes them and treats them specially. One action, or method, that is built into the console object is the .log method. When we write console.log, what we put inside the parentheses will get printed, or logged, to the console. It's going to be very useful for us to print values to the console, so we can see the work that we're doing. Console.log 5. This example logs 5 to the console. The semicolon denotes the end of the line, or statement. Although in JavaScript your code will usually run as intended without a semicolon, we recommend learning the habit of ending each statement with a semicolon so you never leave one out in the few instances when they are required. You'll see later on that we can use console.log to print different kinds of data. Instructions. 1. Use the console.log code in the editor to log your age to the console. Run your code when you are ready to see the result. Stuck? Get a hint. Concept review. Want to quickly review some of the concepts you've been learning? Take a look at this material's cheat sheet. Community forums. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. Is JavaScript case sensitive? Do I need to use a semicolon? What is the difference between document.write and console.log? Programming is often highly collaborative. In addition, our own code can quickly become difficult to understand when we return to it, sometimes only an hour later. For these reasons, it's often useful to leave notes in our code for other developers or ourselves. As we write JavaScript, we can write comments in our code that the computer will ignore as our program runs. These comments exist just for human readers. Comments can explain what the code is doing, leave instructions for developers using the code, or add any other useful annotations. There are two types of code comments in JavaScript. A single-line comment will comment out a single line and is denoted with two // preceding it. // prints 5 to the console.log, 5. You can also use a single-line comment to comment after a line of code. Console.log, 5, // prints 5. A multi-line comment will comment out multiple lines and is denoted with /* to begin the comment, and */ to end the comment. /*, this is all commented console.log, 10, none of this is going to run. Console.log, 99, */. You can also use this syntax to comment something out in the middle of a line of code. Console.log, /* ignored, */5, // still just prints 5. Instructions. 1. Let's practice adding some code comments. To the right, we've provided you with the beginning of the book Catch 22 by Joseph Heller. On line 1, write a single line comment that says opening line. Stuck? Get a hint. Concept review. Want to quickly review some of the concepts you've been learning? Single-line comments are great for adding context to your code. Multi-line comments are often best suited to prevent a block of code from running. However, both types of comments can be used for either purpose. Use a multi-line comment so that the bottom 6 console.log statements are all commented out. Stuck. Get a hint. Data types are the classifications we give to the different kinds of data that we use in programming. In JavaScript, there are 7 fundamental data types. Number, any number, including numbers with decimals, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23.42. String, any grouping of characters on your keyboard, letters, numbers, spaces, symbols, etc., surrounded by single quotes. Or double quotes. Though we prefer single quotes. Some people like to think of string as a fancy word for text. Boolean, this data type only has 2 possible values, either true or false, without quotes. It's helpful to think of booleans as on and off switches or as the answers to a yes or no question. Null, this data type represents the intentional absence of a value, and is represented by the keyword null, without quotes. Undefined, this data type is denoted by the keyword undefined, without quotes. It also represents the absence of a value, though it has a different use than null. Undefined means that a given value does not exist. Symbol, a newer feature to the language, symbols are unique identifiers, useful in more complex coding. No need to worry about these for now. Object, collections of related data. The first 6 of those types are considered primitive data types. They are the most basic data types in the language. Objects are more complex, and you'll learn much more about them as you progress through JavaScript. At first, 7 types may not seem like that many, but soon you'll observe the world opens with possibilities once you start leveraging each one. As you learn more about objects, you'll be able to create complex collections of data. But before we do that, let's get comfortable with strings and numbers. Console.log, location of Codecademy headquarters, 575 Broadway, New York City, console.log, 40. In the example above, we first printed a string. Our string isn't just a single word, it includes both capital and lowercase letters, spaces, and punctuation. Next, we printed the number 40, notice we did not use quotes. Instructions. 1. On line 1, log the string JavaScript to the console. Stuck. Get a hint. Concept review. On line 2, log the number 2011 to the console. On line 3, print woohoo. I love to code. Hashtag Codecademy to the console. On line 4, print the number 20.49 to the console. Concept review. Want to quickly review some of the concepts you've been learning? Take a look at this material's cheat sheet. Community forums. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. When should you use single quotes or double quotes for strings? How do you spell Codecademy? Still have questions? View this exercise's thread in the Codecademy forums. Basic arithmetic often comes in handy when programming. An operator is a character that performs a task in our code. JavaScript has several built-in arithmetic operators that allow us to perform mathematical calculations on numbers. These include the following operators and their corresponding symbols: add, plus; subtract; multiply, asterisk; divide, slash; remainder, %. The first four work how you might guess. Console.log, 3 plus 4, / print 7 console.log, 5 to 1, / prints 4 console.log, 4 by 2, / prints 8 console.log, 9/3, / prints 3. Note that when we console.log, the computer will evaluate the expression inside the parentheses and print that result to the console. If we wanted to print the characters 3 plus 4, we would wrap them in quotes and print them as a string. Console.log, 11% 3, / prints 2 console.log, 12% 3, / prints 0. The remainder operator, sometimes called modulo, returns the number that remains after the right-hand number divides into the left-hand number as many times as it evenly can. 11% 3 equals 2 because 3 fits into 11 3 times, leaving 2 as the remainder. Instructions. 1. Inside of a console.log, add 3.5 to your age. This is the age you'll be when we start sending people to live on Mars. 'On a new line write another console.log. Inside the parentheses, take the current year and subtract 1969. The answer is how many years it's been since the 1969 moon landing. Create another console.log. Inside the parentheses divide 65 by 240. Create one last console.log. Inside the parentheses, multiply 0.2708 by 100. That's the percent of the sun that is made up of helium. Assuming we could stand on the sun, we'd all sound like chipmunks. Concept review. Want to quickly review some of the concepts you've been learning? Take a look at this material's cheat sheet. Community forums. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. What is the difference between printing 3 plus 4 and 3 plus 4? How does JavaScript handle a negative modulo? -5% 20. Still have questions? Operators aren't just for numbers. When a plus operator is used on two strings, it appends the right string to the left string. Console.log, hi, plus, yeah, / prints, hiya, console.log, well, plus, / prints, whoa, console.log, I love to, plus, code, / prints, I love to code. This process of appending one string to another is called concatenation. Notice in the third example we had to make sure to include a space at the end of the first string. The computer will join the strings exactly, so we needed to make sure to include the space we wanted between the two strings. Console.log, front, plus, space, / prints, front space, console.log, back, plus, space, / prints, back space, console.log, no, plus, space, / prints, no space, console.log, middle, plus, space, / prints, middle space. Just like with regular math, we can combine, or chain, our operations to get a final result. Console.log, 1 plus, comma, plus, 2 plus, comma, plus, 3, / prints, 1, 2, 3. Instructions. 1. Inside a console.log statement, concatenate the two strings, hello, and world. Note, you should concatenate the two strings exactly, without introducing any additional characters. We left off the space last time. Create a second console.log statement in which you concatenate the strings hello and world, but this time make sure to also include a space between the two words. Stuck. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. Why would we use string concatenation? Can a space be at the beginning or end of a string? Introduction to JavaScript. When you introduce a new piece of data into a JavaScript program, the browser saves it as an instance of the data type. All data types have access to specific properties that are passed down to each instance. For example, every string instance has a property called length that stores the number of characters in that string. You can retrieve property information by appending the string with a period and the property name. Console.log, hello.length, / prints 5. The is another operator. We call it the dot operator. In the example above, the value saved to the length property is retrieved from the instance of the string, hello. The program prints 5 to the console, because hello has 5 characters in it. Instructions. 1. Use the dot length property to log the number of characters in the following string to the console. Teaching the world how to code. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. Why would the length of a sentence be useful to know? What is the difference between a property and a method? What does it mean by an instance of a data type? Remember that methods are actions we can perform. Data types have access to specific methods that allow us to handle instances of that data type. JavaScript provides a number of string methods. We call, or use, these methods by appending an instance with a period, the dot operator, the name of the method, opening and closing parentheses, e.g., example string dot method name. Does that syntax look a little familiar? When we use console.log, we're calling the .log method on the console object. Let's see console.log and some real string methods in action. Console.log, hello, to uppercase, / prints, hello, console.log, hey, starts with, h, / prints true. Let's look at each of the lines above. On the first line, the to uppercase method is called on the string instance, hello. The result is logged to the console. This method returns a string in all capital letters, hello. On the second line, the starts with method is called on the string instance, hey. This method also accepts the character h as an input or argument between the parentheses. Since the string hey does start with the letter h, the method returns the boolean true. You can find a list of built-in string methods in the JavaScript documentation. Developers use documentation as a reference tool. It describes JavaScript's keywords, methods, and syntax. Instructions. 1. Use the to uppercase method to log the string Codecademy to the console in all capital letters. In the second console.log statement in app.js, we have a string, remove whitespace, which has spaces before and after the words remove whitespace. If we browse the JavaScript string documentation, we find several built-in string methods that each accomplish a different goal. The one method that seems ideal for us is .trim. Use the method to remove the whitespace at the beginning and end of the string in the second console.log statement. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. This exercise mentions documentation, but what is that, and how /y/when should I use it? Is JavaScript case sensitive? What is the difference between a property and a method, and when do I need to use parentheses? In addition to console, there are other objects built into JavaScript. Down the line, you'll build your own objects, but for now these built-in objects are full of useful functionality. For example, if you wanted to perform more complex mathematical operations than arithmetic, JavaScript has the built-in math object. The great thing about objects is that they have methods. Let's call the .random method from the built-in math object. Console.log math.random / prints a random number between 0 and 1. In the example above, we called the .random method by appending the object name with the operator, the name of the method, and opening and closing parentheses. This method returns a random number between 0, inclusive, and 1, exclusive. To generate a random number between 0 and 50, we could multiply this result by 50, like so. Math.random *50. The example above will likely evaluate to a decimal. To ensure the answer is a whole number, we can take advantage of another useful math method called math.floor. Math.floor takes a decimal number and rounds down to the nearest whole number. You can use math.floor to round down a random number like this. Math.floor math.random *50. In this case, math.random generates a random number between 0 and 1. We then multiply that number by 50, so now we have a number between 0 and 50. Then, math.floor rounds the number down to the nearest whole number. If you wanted to see the number printed to the terminal, you would still need to use a console.log statement. Console.log, math.floor, math.random, *50, // prints a random whole number between 0 and 50. To see all of the properties and methods on the math object, take a look at the documentation here. Instructions. 1. Inside of a console.log, create a random number with math.random, then multiply it by 100. Now, use math.floor to make the output a whole number. Inside the console.log, you wrote in the last step, put the existing math.random, *100 code inside the parentheses of math.floor. Find a method on the JavaScript math object that returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to a decimal number. Use this method with the number 43.8. Log the answer to the console. Use the JavaScript documentation to find a method on the built-in number object that checks if a number is an integer. Put the number 2017 in the parentheses of the method and use console.log to print the result. Here are some helpful links to the top questions asked by coders about this exercise. How should I build a project portfolio and what should go in it? How do math.random and math.floor work together? Still have questions? Let's take one more glance at the concepts we just learned. Data is printed, or logged, to the console, a panel that displays messages, with console.log. We can write single-line comments with // and multi-line comments between /* and */. There are 7 fundamental data types in JavaScript: strings, numbers, booleans, null, undefined, symbol, and object. Numbers are any number without quotes, 23.8879. Strings are characters wrapped in single or double quotes, sample string. The built-in arithmetic operators include plus, dash, asterisk, // and %. Objects, including instances of data types, can have properties, stored information. The properties are denoted with a after the name of the object, for example, hello.length. Objects, including instances of data types, can have methods which perform actions. Methods are called by appending the object or instance with a period, the method name, and parentheses. For example, hello.toUpperCase. We can access properties and methods by using the operator. Built-in objects, including math, are collections of methods and properties that JavaScript provides. Here are a few more resources to add to your toolkit. Codecademy Docs, JavaScript. Codecademy Workspaces, JavaScript. Make sure to bookmark these links so you have them at your disposal. App.js.